All right, folks, it's Tuesday, August 27th. I'm in what's called Lake Vista, Lakeview, a suburb of New Orleans. I'm with Mr. Dave Goodman. This is the homeowner, and there's bees that recently populated the underside of his bay window. Okay, the good bit of bees. Okay, and this late in the year, I'm thinking that either a shed or a tree may have fallen down or been cut down, or it was an abscon, maybe heat related, because this isn't really the time of year where the bees are swarming reproductively. Okay, but it looks to be a good sized swarm, and today I'll open up the bottom of the bay window, and we have a nucleus hive with us today, and you know, the same deal. We're gonna try to cage our queen and put her in the setup and leave the box here, and the plan is to come back at nighttime. I'll be calling Dave later today with an update to see if the bees have entered the box or not. When it gets really warm like this, you know, bees being highly social, when there's a temperature differential, you know, they do want to cluster so that they can keep warm and generate heat. But when it's hot like this, you can see I'm sweating. They don't need a cluster. Obviously, they don't need to put out heat. So it's hit or miss whether they're going to be in this box tonight or the next night. They will go in that box if we put that queen in there. So sometimes it's a waiting game as far as when the temperatures are up like they are. Dave is a carpenter, and he's been wanting to do some work to the bay window for some
like
time.
paint.
Yeah, so we're giving him a little push, and we're giving him a little honeydew.
There you go.
I think the wife will appreciate that, huh?
I think so.
So so you come back here and you're cutting the grass once a week, basically.
Right.
And you came back here. You said Saturday.
It was Saturday, and there was none of this going on because I would have noticed it on Saturday.
Okay. Yeah, I think you would have definitely noticed. We opened this up, and there's comb and all that stuff.
Then they were hiding well.
They're either hiding or
maybe
Dave's fibbing to me.
I was in the lawn mowing zone, so I probably didn't.
All right, well, let's get into it. I hope you enjoyed the video. Hey folks, y'all know the video. I smoked her, made a bee proof. Well, we're gonna smoke Dave a little bit because we had one bee that was dive bombing him a minute ago. So we're gonna give him a little smoke, and hopefully this will mask any odors. You want to spin a little bit for us? All right, we'll give that a try and see if that does it. And I'll smoke myself a little bit as well. Smoke the hat. All right. So hopefully that makes you bee proof, Dave. All right, we're giving them a little smoke here, and let's see if we can just pop this off. Yeah. Just gonna yank that little piece of trim. Might need some attention too, Dave. Here.
Don't worry about it, not a problem.
And Dave, I'm seeing a bunch of comb. All right, so yes. So Dave.
Oh my goodness.
Yeah. So
So I need to open.
well, they've definitely been there a little while, but the whole thing's not full. But yeah, they must have been chilling out on you a little bit when you came by the other day.
They're not in the wall. They're under the bay.
Well, we knew they were in the bay. I didn't expect to see, you know, this amount of comb, but this is what we got. All right. Here's some propolis right here. A little bit. That's what we call bee glue as well. Whew, smoking myself out here. So we're just going to go ahead and tap this. Let me show you real quick a few hive beetles. You see them here? You always want to take an opportunity to squinch these. And as I've stated before, if the hive is strong, the bees can deal with the beetles. It's when the hive gets weak, okay, is when the beetles can start laying their eggs. And it really doesn't take very long to see those maggoty little rubbery larvae. I mean, literally like within 3 to 4 days, the hive could be inundated with beetle larvae. So, you know, you always want to keep your hive strong. So, you know, we're talking, of course, in a domestic setup. Let's say you have a setup where you have, say, 5 boxes, right? A big booming colony. Unbeknownst to you, they swarm multiple times. Excuse me. And a big colony is capable of swarming in a 10-day period. I've seen it as much as 5 different times. So let's say you got this big setup in 5 different boxes, okay, and they've swarmed 5 times, and after that duration you show up and you see very little activity in your setup, okay, you need to go in, obviously. Well, you go in, and now instead of having bees in all 5 boxes, you have bees in just the bottom box. You know, maybe there's 3 or 4 frames of bees. You probably have a virgin queen down there, okay? So you're going to allow them to rebuild, to continue with things. When bees swarm, they normally just don't empty out completely. Usually something's left behind to keep things going. Isn't that nice? So what you need to do in that situation is remove the top 4 boxes, and now you're down to that bottom box. Okay, now I really like nucleus colonies, 5 frame boxes or 6 frame boxes. So if your bees swarmed out of a 5-box setup and now you're left with 3 frames of bees, doesn't it make sense to now condense their efforts and put them into a setup that has 5 frames or 6 frames? You're doing them a world of wonder if you do that, folks, okay? All right. Especially something late in the year when you're trying to get them to go through winter. And there's nothing wrong with stacking nukes either. All right, we're going to tap these. I'm just going to go ahead and, they're in there. We're going to go ahead and just tap these. Let's see if we can get them. All right. Good enough. All right, we're going to set this aside. All right, see what we got here, huh, Dave?
Yeah.
We switched things around because we're going to go in from this end. Obviously, that makes the most sense than, you know, starting on that end. All right, so we're not using the bee vac today. So what we're going to do is we're going to use the smoker to run the bees off the comb sections so we can take them out. All right. So nice, pretty white combs, folks. I'm thinking they've probably been here at least since May. You know, the tallow flow starts in May, and you know, they're showing me that that'd be my best guess. Say sometime in May. It could have been April. Who knows for sure. All right, see, we smoke this side, and then they run off the comb sections. I got to do a little bit more so I can get these pieces out. But this is what we're looking at here, folks. Okay. And how long ago was it that you had the other colony, Dave?
About a year ago.
So about a year ago, they were actually in this wall right here, folks, which isn't too far from where we are now. All right. So let's get this done. All right. At times it may get a little crazy.
Okay.
At least to you.
All right.
Okay. Where, you know, these bees may even go airborne or something.
I got a key to the house, so I'll get it.
Yeah, I'm not too worried about that. I just want to get it done. There. With this heat, it feels like shake and bake. All right, I'm going to hand you this piece of comb right here, Dave. You want to try the honey? Just go ahead and take a bite of this right here. You want to kneel down real quick? Just
Where's my pancakes? I don't know where my pancakes are.
Take a little bite and tell me what you think. Pretty good, huh?
Needs pancakes.
All right, there you go. Put it on toast with a little butter, man.
Man, that's good.
Yeah. Hey, your wife's gonna be happy tonight. Look, you if you got a little container or something with a lid, I'll put some more honey in there for you here. We should have a little more for you to try, and your wife too.
All right, coming at you.
Okay.
Perfect.
Good deal. There we go. good enough. Not want to let go. I'm gonna let you hold this. I'm gonna trim that for you, okay?
Alrighty.
So that I can wipe the honey off my hands. Actually, I need to do that now. All right, folks. Had to step away a minute and get some more tools and stuff. We didn't plan on doing a full-blown removal. Thought we was dealing with a swarm today, so. Got my bucket with hot water right here. That's to clean the honey off my hands and my tools. Makes life a lot easier. And add a little more smoke, a few. All right, so let's get to it. All right, so here we go. I gotta smoke them again. I'm gonna try to use some of these comb sections and frame them up, but this next one it's white, it's new, so it's gonna be soft. And it's concave too, so I'm not going to use it. But hopefully there's some usable comb in here somewhere. Oh, so I even cut that thing in half, and not even in half, and it's still, look how flimsy it is. See? So you're not going to frame this up. It's just too flimsy. All right, so we'll just shake them off. See how it just comes apart like that, folks. All right. All right. Some little honey on this one I'm going to give you, Dave. Okay. Now here's a drone, Dave. I was telling Dave earlier about the males and how the females make up the majority of the hive. And this is a drone. You can see and they get a lot bigger than this actually, Dave. You can see its eyes kind of bug out a little bit more, no pun intended. The back end's not really tapered, it's more blunt. And because I have fun with people and I always tell them, if this bee had a stinger, I wouldn't be able to do this.
I think I'll stick with the honey.
No, I did not eat that bee just now, okay? I just put him in my mouth and then I put him back out. All right, so there he is.
That's not going on Carol's pancakes.
All right. Nice little piece of honeycomb, folks. Got a little pollen in there, because I always tell people, you know, pollen's good for you. A lot of vitamins and stuff, a lot of B vitamins. Dave got that right off the bat, folks. I knew he would. Crack myself up. What can I say? You gotta have fun, you know, doing your thing, folks. What can I say? Whoa. See, that piece right there has got to weigh, oh, I don't know, over a pound for sure. That piece right there weighs over a pound, folks. Okay? You're kind of getting the gist of what we're doing here. Basically, transfer, and I know most of them are flying back up, but eventually they're going to start making this box their new home. Okay? We're going to trick them. There's a little bit of honey here I can give you. A little some more B vitamins. All right, boy. And they're a little crooked again. Yeah, let's see. And it is hot, folks. It's about 117 degrees out here today, I think. That's what the humidity and heat index. In actuality, I don't know. It's got to be pushing 90.
It's summer in New Orleans.
That is for sure. course, these bees, when I smoke them, instead of them running this way, I guess because there's all that congestion, you know, they're running this way where the open area is, which that makes sense. That's, you know, I guess it makes sense. Of course, it's not what I want them to do, but I really just want to give them a little bit of smoke so they can run off the comb so I can get to the comb sections, but they're forcing me to hammer them with a little extra to get them to run off. So the smoke is achieving what I want it to achieve, but it's not doing it exactly, you know, what I would love it to do. All right. See, this is cap brood right here. This is where the queen laid eggs. All these would have hatched out within the next 10 days, most likely. So we'll shake these and all right. We're not going to use any of this because it's just too flimsy. And it has a tendency to collapse on you in transit. So, you see? So we'll just bag this up. What we'll do is we'll make slits in the bag and put it away from the beehives and let the bees rob the honey out. They'll do that this time of the year, I promise you. Because there's not a lot of nectar being produced. Alright. Alright, so we're making a little more progress, as you can see. Alright, we remove, let's see, that's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 comb sections. And a lot of that honey I've given to Mr. Dave. Yeah, let's see what you got in there, Dave. Alright, he's going to enjoy that, folks, I promise you. All right.
There you go.
It was about 94 degrees earlier. It's a little bit cooler now. We got, I don't know how many comb sections out over here, but had opened this up because this 2-day-old hive also built in this cavity as well. You can hear my the homeowner laughing in the background there. I got to give him a hard time.
New glasses. New glasses.
So what we're going to do at this point, obviously we switch things up again, and that is a lot of bees. I'm going to have to smoke them because we're not, again, using the bee vac. So we need to get to the combs that are underneath them, and we need to get on with this. So again, we're trying to make this their new home. So we do have one frame of brood comb framed up. Now don't laugh when you see this. Okay, you got to understand the way this is set up. It's triangular in shape. So this piece that I framed up, it's short and it's very triangular. But this will go a long ways to attract some of the bees, so you can see. All right, if only it could fill the frame, but anyway, that's a start, okay? And I don't know how much more of that we can even put in there. It seems to all be kind of either triangular in shape or white and very, very flimsy. They've been on edge a couple of times. I got stung once, but that was completely my fault. There was a bee sticking out of one of the cells, and I put my finger over the cell and I got stung, okay? The homeowner got stung once, and he's had them go after him a couple of times, but just that one time we smoked him down a little bit. We made him bee proof. we need to get them to move off these comb sections so we can get to them. So we're gonna smoke heavy right now. All right, girls. Yeah, we're definitely seeing some darker comb here. Not jet black or anything. I think this is from this season, but you know, it could have been early spring. One got you, Dave?
Yeah, but it's only 2 days ago I saw it.
Man, just think if you would have been over here 3 days before, there wouldn't even been a bee to sting you. See if I can just grab one and yank. I might have to cut that. See, now we don't have a lot of room to work here. One good thing is the ceiling's not too far above us, so might have to pull these out in pieces, but I think we can get it done. Get this piece out. Come on out. Video, the one, why did the bees march into the hive box? Okay, we had some pictures of some queen cups, and you can see there's one here. Okay, there's a queen cup right there. So that's on its way to a queen cell. Is there anything in it? Let's see. No, nothing in there. So sometimes there'll be a larvae and there'll be royal jelly, and if you want to scoop out the royal jelly and consume it, you can. I usually do that. Royal jelly's got a flavor all to its own. So when we get back to that big ball of bees, we'll be able to use the hive tool or a scraper and start to transfer bees. I might even grab some thin gloves. I might have some with me and just start grabbing a bunch of bees and just dropping them in the box. All right, so let's get this out if we can. Let's make part of it. Some more queen cups. There's a queen cup. Nothing in it. All right. Got a decent window to work in now. Now I can get up top, move these triangles. This one should come out fairly well. We're gonna go ahead and try to frame some of this up. All right. Still, you know, looking at a triangle. Yep. I don't think we'll frame up too much more of this, folks. Really, I'm just framing up some of this, to be honest with you, so that there's something to you know, so there's brood that the bees will want to cover, okay, and incubate. Again, I know I might be contradicting myself, even though it's hot, but they still do want to cover brood, okay. Come on out. I wouldn't be surprised if she wasn't on this comb piece, but she's not. It would have been a nice gift. They're making honey. See when I shake the comb sections, that light stuff comes out? Mm-hmm. Yeah, that's honey. Well, it's not even honey yet. See it on top of the frames? Yeah, that hasn't been cured, so they're bringing something in. Another drone. All right. Come on. I'll tell y'all a little thing that I do that I've never mentioned before. You want to hear it? When I shake those combs like that, when I shake those bees off the combs, I hold my breath when I do it. Because you never know when they might hit them frames and want to just fly right over and sting you. So, again, you know, that CO2 you're breathing off, you hold your breath and you're not pushing it out. So I always do that when I shake a frame that's full of bees. Hold my breath while I'm doing it. Works for me.
I've been holding my breath when I watch you do it.
You know, the beauty of this is if I wanted to, I could leave right now and come back tomorrow. The bees aren't really going anywhere.
Well, they've only been here 2 days.
Yeah. Keep telling yourself that, Dave.
I'm working on it. They're just real fast bees.
That's right. They're on steroids.
Bee vitamin.
That's right. Plenty of them. That's honey again. All right. And yes, I held my breath.
So did I.
All right, so, man, getting funky in there. All right, this is what it looks like in here at this point, folks. See, there's that little triangle, there's sheetrock back there. Okay, and this whole area, of course, was filled with comb. And you can see that piece of bracing that I wanted to remove. I was working on removing that earlier. Gotta get that piece out. Because the bees are really piling up over here now. They're probably running down on the wall as well. So we're making progress, but it's slow progress. And but one way or another, we will get it done. If it doesn't get done today, it'll be done tomorrow. So that's where we're at right now. You can see what's been flinging out, okay? See? Fresh nectar. Tastes pretty good though. No. Fall.
Hey.
We got most of the comb out, like 99% of it. Because I am going to leave the setup here until tomorrow. Show you what I'm looking at. And then I'll tell you what we're about to do, okay? So this is what we got right now. See that pretty good mass of bees. Alright, I'm going to say the queen's probably in there somewhere. But I think there's a piece of comb down here. Unless that's mortar. That might be mortar. Yeah, it's mortar. Good. So we did get most of the comb out. You know, you can see there's little bits and pieces and stuff. But once we get all the bees out, you know, I do see a couple little pieces of comb tucked in that triangle. We could try to get that out. Right now what we can do, I'm going to try to grab some piles of bees here from this pile of bees. And we'll use this frame right here and try to we'll go ahead and transfer, you know, little masses of bees. So what we're going to try to do is drop some of the bees that are in this big pile right here. Look at that, she stung me. And once we drop them on here, they'll spread out. We're going to look for the queen, okay? Let me smoke this spot. All right. Big piles of them. We'll leave them on there for now. I don't want to shake them because we don't want them flying back to the hive. I mean, to the cluster. So we'll just let them spread out a little bit. Let me just put this aside for a minute. And I'm just going to use my flashlight and see if I can't. We can use the smoker and see if we can maybe spot the queen. Let's do that first. Alright. Just give them a little puff here and there, see if we can get them to spread out. So maybe we get lucky and we'll spot her. Ball of them. Man, there's a lot of bees. Alright, well, I think we're going to probably, we may call it a day. Yeah, I think we're going to call it a day. Alright, stay tuned for part 2, folks. Alright, folks, we're back on this job. And you can't see it right now, but the nuke has a crap load of bees in it, okay? Again, I had encapsulated a little bit of lemongrass oil on the bottom board, a little beeswax, and a little propolis. And we got also a couple of frames with some of their brood framed up, rubber banded in place, okay? So that's attracting them. In fact, I see some of them, you know, putting out orientating pheromone right now. All right, so you can see we got a mess of bee. I'm not going to open the box up right now. This box is loaded right now. All right, so a different ball game today. We got bees in the box. We're not going to look at that right now. We're going to deal with this mass of bees here, and I'm going to use the bee vac right now. All right, so she stung me after all. I'll give you a little tip. If you got a bee that just won't leave you alone, that's buzzing around you, she's probably going to sting you. So if you have to work around her, you're probably going to have to pinch her or walk away. But that was one that just wouldn't let up, and she did just get me. All right, so we're going to go ahead and vacuum some bees up. There we go, Dave. And go ahead and just hit that button. Thank you. So we vacuumed the big cluster of bees that was underneath the bay window, but you can see we got a ton of bees in the nuke. So never did run across the queen. Checked the catch box, didn't see her in there. So she might be in here, I don't know. But right now what I'm doing is I'm going to apply a little smoke to the bay window, and then we're going to use a little repellent. But before we do that, we're going to move this setup closer to you because we don't want the fumes messing, you know, with what we got going on here. And we're doing this so that we can get the bees out of there, force them to go to the nuke, okay? Because I want to take these gals home tonight. The queen's in this void for some reason, okay? Over the next day or two, if we do leave the box here, they're just going to leave this setup and go back into the bay. So we're going to do repellent, do a little smoke, run the bees out, move the nuke forward. Once they're focused on the box, then I might go into the box and check to see if we have a queen. Anyway, that's where we are right now. So without further ado, repellent I'm using, as y'all know, been using quite a while. My buddy Scott Derrick from Blythewood Bee Company manufactures is a honeybee going. During the process of getting them off the combs, they really were stubborn. They didn't want to leave the combs. They were comb dependent. Are your bees comb dependents? Just about all repellents are kind of caustic to the bottles you put it in. You can't just put it in any kind of spray bottle you get like at the dollar store. It'll melt the plastic. So I get these from Home Depot, and they're supposed to be able to handle, you know, all kinds of chemicals and stuff like that. They usually hold up pretty well. Alright, so they're still flying around that spot, but the repellent is keeping them off the bay. So we should start to see them trying to orient to the nuke. But we'll give them a couple of minutes and see how this plays out, folks. We're going to go ahead and open the box and just take a peek and see if we can spot our queen, okay? Give them a little smoke. And I'm thinking there's a bunch of bees inside there, but you never know. Should be. I don't think all the bees we're seeing in this box are just on that entrance. We'll find out right now. Alright. Yeah, we're loaded. Alright, so let's go ahead and take a peek, folks. They're a little testy this evening. You know? I wonder why. So we've evicted them without any warning, really. There's a mess of bees in there. I did not see her in the catch box. I tapped the box and I looked twice. That's about all I wanted to really do. I don't want to stress them any more than that. Let's see what we got here. That's, see how they're kind of linked together like that at the top? That is called festooning. Okay? And they usually do that when they're actually building comb. And that's just another thing that they do because they're highly social insects. Alright? They kind of link together so that they can work together. So, more festooning at the top there. You can see them kind of chained together. Forming the chain, the bee chain. I'm definitely digging this nuke. I'm digging these frames. So let's go ahead and put that back in. Sometimes when you're doing an inspection, if you don't run across the queen the first time, just go back in, go over it again. You know, you'd be surprised. You know, just don't get fanatical about it. Just take your time, go back in, and maybe you'll run across it that second time. Alright. You might be thinking, well, why would you be on one of these frames, right? Well, I have run across queens that were on foundation. And just remember, we smoked this box before we went in, so could have gave her a little push. She could wind up on one of these frames. Let's check this one again. Got my eagle eye glasses on. Don't see her. Well, I gave it a little look-see anyway. I'll be honest about it. I really didn't expect that the way they're acting like a queen's not in here, okay? I know that might sound crazy, but if you fool with bees enough, you go in and there's like a hum, or they're kind of edgy and kind of all over the place, and that's what was kind of happening here. But like I said, she may be in that catch box. I'll have a look at through there again tonight. But either way, if for some reason we don't wind up with a queen from this removal, could combine them or just give these another queen. That's an option that I could take. When you have resources, you have options. That's why it's always good when you're starting out to start with at least 2 hives. 2's probably good enough. You don't want to go crazy. But start out with 2 hives. That way, for some reason, one of the hives is not doing what you need it to do, you can pull resources from the strong hive and give it to a weaker hive. A lot of times you can turn things around by doing that, by pulling your resources. All right, folks, so we are slowly but surely wrapping this one up. We're allowing the bees to orient to the nuke. As you saw, we sprayed repellent. Now they're doing it right now. I don't see as many bees over here, so they're starting to land on the box. They're starting to do their thing. So we should be able to put them on the truck tonight, take them away. I hope y'all enjoyed this video. I hope you learned something. Just to recap, our good friend Dave called me. I asked my questions. So they're in the bay window. Okay, is the bay window on the front of the house or the back of the house? Back of the house. Okay, how often do you go back there? Once a week to cut the grass. When were you back there last? Saturday. Now, cut Dave some slack, okay? There was an azalea here that we did trim, okay? He was more than happy to allow me to trim it. And there was some kind of weed tree. So it was kind of covering the area a little bit, but but these bees, they've been there probably, my best guess would be anywhere from 4 to 6 months. That would be my guess once it's all said and done. There was a good bit of comb and a good bit of bees, okay? So anyway, yeah, they were there 2 days.
Well, I didn't say they were consecutive days. So one of them might have been in May,
Yeah.
and then there was Saturday.
All right, well, with that said, thanks for watching. Hope y'all enjoyed it. Until the next one, I'm having a great day, and I hope you are too. Take care now. All right, folks, it's time to take the girls away. They're all tucked in. There's not a bee over here, so I don't see any. All right, well, hope y'all have a splendid day or night, whatever time of the day you're watching this video. Take care now. To the next one.
New queen that they made. You can see where they tore the shells. That's a queen shell. They tore these up.